Holy smokes everyone, you need to hear Elon Musk's latest prediction that overnight sent the stock market from green to red. So what is this prediction everyone? Let's have a look. So last night there was this post on Twitter. There are 936 startups valued at more than 1 billion in the world today. What do you think this chart would look like in 5 years? Well everyone, what I think is this is a great summary of what the markets have been like in 2020 and 2021. It seemed like in 2021, if you're a tech startup or if you're an electrical vehicle car maker startup, people were just throwing money hand over fist. Many big tech companies went IPO and made hundreds of billions of dollars. There was an absolute speculative mania in small cap stocks at the start of January 2021, many that Cathie Wood were investing in and other financial YouTubers recommending to your subscribers, but we've now seen how bad these plays have turned out late this year. But everyone, what happened last night was Elon Musk replied to this tweet, and this is what he said. If history is any guide, not many will make it past the next recession. Now, I think Elon Musk would know this better than anyone because Tesla was on the verge of collapse in 2008 during the financial crisis. We can see this previous tweet here. Elon Musk says, Tesla's financing round closed at 6 p.m. December 24th, 2008, the last hour of the last day possible, or payroll would have bounced 2 days later. I gave Tesla my last remaining cash from PayPal and didn't even own a house or anything sellable. And he's also said in some of his other previous interviews, he was down to his last $40 and put 20 in Tesla and 20 in SpaceX because he didn't want either of these companies to go down. But through Elon's hard work and luck, he made it through. But unfortunately, many of these startups won't make it through. But this isn't the worst of it, everyone. Someone then replied and says, when do you think the next recession will be? And this is the question everybody wants to know the answer to. Predicting macroeconomics is challenging, to say the least. And hey, I completely agree. Try being a financial YouTuber, self-taught economist. But his gut feel is around spring or summer 2022, but no later than 2023. Well, everyone, this is a big, bold prediction. Now, I'm going to go over why I agree with this and why I think this is the case. Now, we always have to take everything Elon Musk says with a grain of salt, but I also do have the same gut feel and I also do have facts and data to back it up. So everyone, let's now dive into what could trigger a deep recession in 2022, and for really the poor and the middle class, we haven't made it out of this recession because inflation is destroying our purchasing power and it's going up much faster than wages. Now, first things first, he said spring or summer of 2022. Now, what's something I've been talking about extensively on the channel that is going to happen then? Well, the Federal Reserve is going to completely stop all of its asset purchases. That means it's no longer going to buy US treasuries or mortgage-backed securities. What is this going to cause? Interest rates to go up. The Federal Reserve has also said that they will likely increase interest rates 3 times in 2022. But of course, that's too little too late because we already have inflation now. So what really frustrates me is they're just trying to pretend like they're doing something. They're really tiptoeing and dragging their feet. They're saying, okay, instead of purchasing 120 billion of US treasuries and mortgage-backed securities, we'll only purchase 110 billion, then 100 billion. You can see how slow they're trying to do this. And what I think they're hoping is that by the time mid-2022 comes, inflation will be down. And then, of course, they'll say, oh, you know what? Looks like we can't lift interest rates anymore. But I'll get into why this may not be the case. Now, again, he's saying this is his gut feel. And I've had this same gut feeling. I've been watching this so-called V-shaped recovery, this economic boom, and it just doesn't seem real to me. I keep thinking about how they shut down the global economy for nearly 2 years, or it's been running at 25%, 50, 75% capacity. And I've been thinking, how can there be no consequences? People weren't paying their rent. People weren't paying their mortgages. They've stopped paying their student loans. The government sent out massive amounts of stimulus checks and they printed the currency like they've never done before. And so this created a fake economic boom. But every time they try to stimulate the economy, like for example, if you get a hit of caffeine, eventually you start to get used to that hit of caffeine and it no longer has the same effect. That is what is now starting to happen in the markets. If they inject $1 trillion, it doesn't have the same effect as the previous time. So they have to inject more and more, and they also have to start injecting stimulus more frequently because it's starting to wear off faster and faster. And that's what we're already starting to see now. They printed trillions of dollars, but now we're already starting to feel the effects of no more stimulus and people having to repay their bills and the effects of inflation that this money printing has caused. So the biggest risk that will send us into recession in 2022 is the pandemic isn't over. We're seeing a surge in cases now with this Omicron variant. I'm not a doctor, I'm not going to go into that, I'm not a politician, but the economic side of this is going to weaken consumer confidence. Some people aren't going to want to go out there in shopping malls and spend. Me, I've been wanting to go on a holiday for the past year and a half, but I simply won't book it because there's just so much uncertainty with I don't know if borders are going to be shut or there's going to be new restrictions introduced. So I'm sure there's many other people in my case that would like to go out on a holiday or would like to go out there and spend, but they just can't because of what's going on right now. Now, something else that has been also a huge issue and that's adding to the inflationary pressure is the supply chain crisis. And the pandemic has exposed how weak our global supply chains are. And they're all saying, don't worry, things will get better in 2022. Well, 2022 has now started and we're already seeing other ports start to shut down, all there being supply shortages in workers and labor and businesses not being able to get out the consumer goods because everything that they thought would be fixed by now is still causing havoc. And another thing that was going to provide a lot more stimulus to the economy was Biden's Build Back Better plan. But this has now been put in question and they don't know if this is going to go through. That was going to be $1.7 trillion in stimulus, but Joe Manchin put a block to this. So everyone, what this simply means is we're not going to have all the artificial stimulus to boost up this fake recovery in 2022. And this is going to be the real test to see how strong the economy really is without intervention and manipulation. But everyone, that was just some of my thoughts and opinions on Elon Musk predictions, some of his thoughts and my thoughts on what could cause a recession in 2022. But what do you think? Let me know. For all my loyal viewers and subscribers still watching, you're awesome. I've got many other videos I posted today. Go check them out. I'll see you there.